So you're interested in becoming a real estate agent. But you first want to know the ugly parts to see if it's actually worth the money and the time to get licensed. And I'm going to tell you. First and foremost, and probably the most important thing that you guys should know before getting into real estate is that it could take a while for you to get a paycheck. Most likely 4 to 6 months. Yes, 4 to 6 months. So there's two different types of properties, right? MLS and then managed properties. This really just falls under like the rental category, but managed properties usually are luxury properties that are ran by like big companies. Sorry, I like threw the ball for my dog and he's just in a very playful mood right now. So excuse that. Managed properties are gonna probably pay you 75% to 100% of that first month's rent, where MLS rentals are half because you're splitting it with the listing agent. So, I mean, it's fair, but MLS properties will pay you much, much faster. However, these properties over here that are the managed properties, they're gonna pay you more, but the payment is going to take you a lot longer to receive. I've had to wait probably my longest, I think, had to be 9 months. I wasn't paid out on a rental deal for 9 months. And I think this was interesting circumstances because like the building itself was shifting management. They were being sold to a different company. So that's probably why, but it took 9 months to get myself paid. So if you're getting ready to enter real estate, make sure you have enough money saved up for those 4 to 6 months, or you're living under your parents' roof, or you have another job. So whether that's being a server, bartender, working in retail, those type of jobs where you can like work odd times, and usually during night. So I actually was a server for a short amount of time when I was first getting started in real estate and really building up my client base. So it's pretty normal when you're starting out and you really have to make ends meet, right? So you gotta do what you gotta do. And also, when you're jumping into real estate, it's really beneficial if you do it full time because it really takes so much time to build up your pipeline and your client base that you just have to commit a lot of time to it. If you aren't disciplined, this is not the job for you. And I will promise you that. In real estate, you have no boss. You are your own boss. So if you're not good at time blocking, if you're not good at wearing different hats, because you really are your own admin, your own marketing person, and your salesperson, right? You have to wear all those 3 hats in order to succeed in this job. So you're posting on social media, you're doing email blasts, but you're also making sure that you're entering your deals, that you're listing that property on Zillow, and then also being a salesperson. So are you doing your cold calls? Are you making sure you're keeping up with your entire list of people? You have to do all of these items, and if you fall short on one, it could really affect your business. And I'm located in the Midwest, so usually the bulk of the business, especially for rentals, is in the spring and summer. So you really want to maximize your time, and if you are not disciplined, it's not going to be good. Number 3 is leads are the only way to make money, and here are the 3 ways people get their leads. First one is people purchase their leads. Again, I've never purchased my leads. I don't know how much they are, and it's usually, I hear teams purchase leads. So I'm assuming they're pretty pricey. And usually they're not that great leads. Just because they're leads, that doesn't mean they're gonna rent with you, doesn't mean they're gonna buy with you. You're paying for this information that may or may not work out in the long run. You can work your sphere, which means your friends and family, but also I'll actually talk about that in the next like con and ugly part. And the last part is you need to cold call. So cold calling is doing a lot for listings. So calling expired listings, making those relationships. So if you aren't comfortable putting yourself out there, being extroverted when you need to be. I wasn't very extroverted when I started in the industry, but you do learn along the way, and you have to be willing to be extroverted. So I've definitely gone to open houses by myself, brokers events by myself, and you have to be okay with that. And some people aren't, and that's okay. But it's good that you know now so you can make the right decision for you. Okay, my fourth point, family and friends unfortunately will disappoint you. So when you first get started, you're entering your brokerage and they're training you, everyone is going to say work your sphere. What does that mean? That means the people that you know, the people that you're close to, post on Facebook, all these things. But every agent, and I mean every agent, has experienced either their family not choosing them as a realtor, or their friends wanting their help but then like not taking their help. I have had my fair share of disappointments with my friends and family, and just expect that. That is going to happen. And in real estate, because you are your brand, it's you, your face, your personality that it's attached to your work. It's hard not to take it personal. So just putting that out there, you might get disappointed, but it happens to literally all of us. And I can definitely make more points in another video if you guys really enjoyed this. So comment down below if this is something that you'd want me to expand on more. But the fifth point is there is no work-life balance. I am no longer doing real estate full-time after 2.5 years because I went into a different sales job. As a real estate agent, you have to know that you're an independent contractor. So you have no benefits like health benefits, PTO. So again, you are your own boss, and that comes with some advantages and some disadvantages. One thing that I just didn't like is I could not take PTO. There were multiple people on my team that never felt comfortable taking a vacation, and I love to travel. So I was not okay with that. I was not okay with that being my life long term. So that's why now I'm more of a part-time agent. Sorry, my dog swallowed water a little bit too quickly. No PTO. Again, plenty of my colleagues would not take vacations because they were working around the clock. And also, when you're working with clients, they can text you at 8, 9, 10 p.m. at night, and you have to like make your own boundaries of when to communicate, when it is okay for them to communicate with you. Also, you have to be okay with your schedule changing at the last minute. There could be a buyer client that is working with you this summer, and all of a sudden 1 p.m. hits and they get an MLS email and says, I love this house, I want to tour it ASAP. And so then you make an evening showing for 5 p.m., but they really like the house and they're expecting everything, and they're talking to you about what's on the market, what they've seen, and you started that tour at 5 p.m., but you're not leaving until 7 p.m. because of those conversations. And for me, it was very hard to plan, you know, dinners, workout classes. I'm a workout class girly, so those late fees really did hit hard. Okay, my sixth point is there is no HR department. Again, every agent is really their own boss. And so I have encountered some pretty rude agents, some really unambitious agents, like they take their time to do anything. And in this industry, timing is of the essence. Timing is everything. So it's very important to just be a very motivated, kind, polite agent. So that way when you're working with other agents, they know your name and they know that you're good to work with. I've had deals with other agents before, and that agent go and tell their managing broker, basically their boss, that they liked my professional manner and they tried to scout me. Okay, so always make sure that you're being very well organized and communicating well with any agent that you deal with. My final point is very unfortunate. You know, I think it's probably my biggest con of being in this industry, but it's the fact that you can do everything right. Everything. You know, great relationship building with this certain client, marketing, you reached out to them in the perfect time, you're showing them correct properties, but something out of your hands happens and the deal falls through. Whether one of the people, but anyways, you can do everything right, but the seller no longer wants to sell their property because they no longer want that job in New York, so they're staying. Or they lost their job, so they can't sell their property because they lost their job. Or their child that was going to go states away to college decided to go 30 minutes away and they decided not to sell their properties. So many of these, you know, life circumstances can happen to your clients, and it's just completely out of your control. And so of course there's literally nothing that you can do about it. And those situations are probably the worst because you did everything right. So those are the cons of being a real estate agent, some of the ugly parts of being a real estate agent, but there's also a lot of benefits. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.